Hey there, Camp Girl Boss. It's Emily Breedlove, and we are back today with another live interview with a really good friend of mine. She's based here in Asheville. Her name is Murphy Funkhouser Capps. She's the co-founder and creative director and CEO and wears a lot of different hats at Kudzu Brands. But she's also huge into theater and storytelling. She does playwriting, she tours and shows. So, story is her jam. Murphy's going to talk to us today about why story is so important when you're building your empire and looking at it from several different angles because it's, I think, one of the things that she loves the most. So, Murphy, first of all, thank you for calling in today and for joining us at Camp Girl Boss.
Yay, it's such an honor to be here, Emily. Hi, girls. Hi, girl bosses. You guys are awesome. It's really awesome to be here with you.
Well, so Murphy, you do a lot of things in your life and you're going to do a much better job at talking about it than I am. Can you tell us who you are and what is it that you do when you're building your empire?
Sure. So first and foremost, I am a storyteller in everything that I do. So I like to say that when I'm not telling my own stories on stage, then I am putting my clients' businesses on stage and helping them tell their stories. I'm putting the spotlight on them, giving them the standing ovation, giving them the applause. I do have a background in theater. That's what I studied in college. And I have been a professional actress. I have a couple of one-woman shows that I've written and toured across the country. But I've also always been in business. So I definitely have two sides. So we talk about, our personas. I am definitely, the performer and the creative, but I'm also have always been a leader and like to be the boss. So, and I've always had a mind for business. So a good mix of left and right brain. And so I looked for a way to bring my two personas together, my two skill sets. And I found that when I opened Kudzu Brands, which is a branding and marketing agency, where we say that story and strategy intertwine. 10 years ago, opened that business. And what I do is I help businesses strategically use story to grow their businesses, to become memorable, profitable, and sustainable brands. And I'm assuming most of the girls that you all have been educated at this point on what the difference is between a business and a brand. Or should I define that?
Yeah, so we talk about it, but let's hear, how would you describe that, Murphy?
So when you're just another business, you're out there every day in the fight of your life, trying to compete with other businesses on price and on service and reputation. And it's kind of a difficult path to take when you're just another business. But if you can do the right things and make yourself instead a brand, then you have no competition. You are the business that people think of first and the one they feel the best about when they need your product or service. So if we think about Apple computers, for example, or, and this may be before your time, girls, but Xerox copiers that were so popular and so familiar, such a well-used word that the word Xerox became the term for a copier when there were lots and lots and lots of other copiers out there.
Well, so it's kind of like Kleenex.
Yeah, like
right?
better
Kleenex
example.
is what, yeah, for the tissues.
There's lots of other brands of Kleenex, but Kleenex became such a powerful brand that when we reach for that piece of soft paper to wipe our noses, we say, give me a Kleenex. And so there really is no competition for Kleenex because they are the first brand that people think of when they think of that product or service. And they say that the more people that think of you first, that will be directly related to how many sales you make. And in the marketing world, we call that share of mind, which means how much of the brain do you have a share of out in the world should directly relate to what we call your share of market, which means how many people are spending money with you and doing business with you. So if you can implant your story into the mind of your target audience and stay there, then you should also see a significant increase in your sales.
Well, and so you are someone who really appreciates the power of story, right? That a great story connects with people in their heart, in their mind. It makes them remember you. It gives them more share of mind and share of market. Can you talk about, your relationship with story and how you really help your business clients to build a healthier relationship with their own story?
So I work with all different types of businesses. I work with businesses though mainly that have a hard time telling their story, or people or businesses that don't think their story is very interesting. Those are my favorite. So like think of an accounting firm, right? What
Hmm.
is there interesting or exciting to tell about an accounting firm? We do taxes. We've been doing them for 100 years. What I love about my job is I get to go into that business and I get to find the story. So I'll give you a great example. I worked with an accounting firm that had been in business for over 50 years and their website was really boring. And it was like, we've been in business for 155 years.
Hmm.
We do taxes, and the picture on the homepage of their website was of a calculator. And what I found out was that there were these beautiful, rich stories living inside this business that they had never tapped into. For example, their clients loved them so much and they were in a small southern town in Northern Virginia. Their clients loved them so much that in addition to dropping off the check for their services, they would bring them pies, pigs, and they worked with the local farmers. And because the farmers were busy tending their fields, the accountants would go out and stand in the field with the farmers and do their taxes out in the field. So we put together a few ads. One was a picture of a cow, and it said, "Some people think this is a cow, but we know it's your retirement plan." So showing a deep understanding
Hmm.
of the farmer and their business and what mattered to them. And then we took a picture of the accountant standing out in the field having a meeting with the farmers, and it said, "This is why we are outstanding in our fields."
Oh, nice.
So, and then we did another ad that said, our customers or our clients love us so much that we get pigs and pies. And it was a picture of them receiving a pie. Now, those are the stories that connect us
Hmm.
to businesses. And that's what I love about what I do.
Yeah. Well, and so, in camp, we're working with our campers to build their brand map. And so really getting a sense of, what are the stories that they want to tell? What are the feelings that they want to invoke? As well as studying their ICA, so their ideal customer avatar. And what's really fun is, we work with campers to build the pieces of their marketing strategy, like you said. And it really is up to them to come up with the story that connects all those pieces to really bring it to life. And to, like you talked about, a great story is your special sauce. It's
Mhm.
also your competitive advantage. So it's how you get a leg up on your competition. What tips would you give to our campers as they're thinking about their story, the story that really helps connect those dots? What tips should you give them in pulling that apart and finding the story that really would connect with their ICA?
So people like to do business with people that they like and that they feel comfortable with or that they feel a connection with. So I think the more authentic and transparent you can be in your story and your why, the people will respect and value that honesty. I worked with a guy that grew tomatoes once, and he was in a market where everybody grew tomatoes, and he was like, "I don't know how to make my tomatoes different than anybody else's tomatoes." And I said, "Well, tell me what you experience when you get up in the morning and you walk outside and you see all those tomatoes growing. What do you smell? What do you feel? What does it mean to you? Why do you get up every morning and pick these tomatoes?" And he lit up and he just started telling me all about what it smells like and what it feels like to hold one of the tomatoes in his hands and how he loves to cut into it and make himself a BLT sandwich at lunch and the juiciness of it. I mean, he was so excited about these
Hmm.
darn tomatoes. And so I think finding that tomato moment for you, and being able to express it effectively to your customers will light them up. When you're excited, other people get excited. So I think that would be my best advice there.
Awesome. Well, so Murphy, we have really enjoyed learning more about the power of story, as well as, what branding has looked like in your journey. What last piece of advice would you give to girl bosses as they are starting to take the next steps into building their empire for themselves?
Frequency, consistency, and emotional anchoring. Those are the 3 keys to branding. So it's just like, if you want to get into good shape, you don't go run around the track one time and say, well, there, I did it. Good marketing and good branding takes time. So telling your story with frequency over and over and over again, consistency the same way every single time, and then that emotional anchoring is that piece that Emily and I are talking about. It's that part that makes other people excited, that passion, that thing that you get super excited about, that needs to always be there. And so if you can do that, frequency, consistency, and emotional anchoring with your message over and over and over again, you will eventually, over time, implant yourself into the minds of your ideal customer, and they will connect with you in the way that you want them to. So.
Awesome. Well, and so for any of the campers, if they want to learn more about you, Murphy, and the work that you're doing, where would they go to find that out?
Sure. So my business website is www.kudzu, like the plant, kudzu, Kudzu, brands, brands.com. You can read about our company and our services, and we're all female.
Yes.
I say that I didn't set out to hire all women. I just set out to hire the best, brightest, most talented people, and they happen to be women. So.
Amen.
Amen.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Murphy, so much for joining us today and for sharing your wisdom. Campers, if you have a question for Murphy that you weren't able to ask during the live stream, post it in the forum and I will email her and get your response. I hope you have a fabulous summer, Murphy, and I can't wait to get your daughter in camp in just a couple of years.
She's already in the t-shirt. She wears it every day.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks,
I love watching it. All right, campers, we will see you back here tomorrow. Bye.